Hi, I'm Cash and welcome back to Cash Talks Football. With my over 20 plus years coaching experience all over the world, I like to break down and analyse games, especially in the Premier League, goals scored for and against. Right now we're starting off with the Community Shield. Even though I think it's a complete waste of a game, I do like having a game at the beginning of the season as an opener, just to remind you, because quite frankly, a lot of people forget when the season's starting because, work and stuff. And it gives you that, next week it all starts. But normally it's an awful game. I mean, it's an absolutely awful game, and today was no exception. I do think Arsenal look like they're more ready for the season, though. They look like they've got a team that can do well. I still stand by my prediction that they're going to falter around Christmas when the real Champions League kicks in. But they look way better than Man City do at the moment. Man City were playing a bit of a different system. They were going for more of a 4-4-2, and you could see that. They really struggled without that extra midfielder in there to transition the ball from their defence into the attack. They had a lot of the ball mind. I'd say in the first half, the statistics were something like 70% possession for Man City, but they did very little with it. They didn't move the ball forward to Haaland. Haaland really didn't get a sniff in. They had Alvarez on there. It wasn't working, whatever they were trying to do. But let's have a look when they did make a change and they brought on Phil Foden and Kevin De Bruyne. As you can see right here, this wee man's looking to try to nick the ball from this little wee man. It's a ball in. You can see how high Arsenal are pressing. Even though this is quite late on into the second half, they're still sticking to their guns. Let's move this forward though. Let's see what we can see. Bosch, off it goes. Bang. He gets done. He gets done on the turn for two reasons. His approach speed is too strong. And he hasn't realised that Foden's actually a good football player and actually can do him. So watch. He's coming in to win the ball here. He's trying to nick in. You can see what he's trying to do. He's going to come in and try to nick the ball. Okay, fine. But he hasn't realised his approach speed is way, way too quick and he can get turned way too quickly. Bosh, and he does. Off we go to the races. Now, here's the problem. That Arsenal, look, they played well in the game, to be honest. But look at that space. Look how far they're pressing. And there's a couple of things. Obviously, the defenders are backpedaling as soon as this mistake has happened here. But if they make these mistakes, they're going to get punished throughout the season. And I think they won't until the second half where they start to get the disconnect between trying to play what they want and feeling the pressure of trying to win the league or trying to stay in the Champions League. And that's where I think they're going to get this disconnect and things like this are going to happen. Bosh, off we go. You can see how many extra Man City players are here forward. Now, here's the key. You want this player to come across and try to meet him about there. That's where you want to try to force a pass or something to happen, okay? He can't do anything. He's got to go with his defenders in his shape. And let's see what happens. Let's see what, as we go backwards. Bum, bum, bum. Brilliant. He starts to come across. That's exactly what you want because there's nothing else you can do right here. You've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against 5. So you know the Man City players have got obviously more players, but you've got to try to slow them down and create something to happen. Let's have a little click forward, see what Arsenal do differently. They don't. Now they've got a massive overload here. Now here's a problem, right? Do you make that player come in and mark that little run that's coming across there, or do one of you go out and try to cover the man out wide? You're in all sixes and sevens because you're getting caught on the counter here. This is what happens. Bang. Nicks the ball. Quality. Doesn't do good enough with it. Kevin De Bruyne's touch here is absolutely world class. I'm going to play this. Watch this. Bump. We used to have a saying when we were at certain teams that just keep the ball moving forward, not the ball forward, touch the ball forward. It doesn't mean it was a good pass. It doesn't mean you were doing anything. All you were doing was stopping the ball moving one direction and going the other because you've got numbers up and someone's going to get the next touch on the ball. Just get a touch, move it forward. That's exactly what he's done there. It's moved forward. Now look, they're 3v1 in isolation against this little wee man in the corner. 3v1. That spells disaster. And it does. Bomb, bomb, touch, bang. I think the keeper here is awful. Everyone sings the praises of Ramsdale. I think he's awful on this shot. Is the shot quality? Yes. Don't take away from that. But the keeper could have done so much better. And let's see if I can find you a shot and an angle and show you that. Quality goal. Absolute quality goal. But that's clearly on the counter there. They're not passing through Arsenal. Arsenal's overstepped, overcommitted, and they've just been battered on the other end. I think Arsenal got to be careful with that because it was 0-0 and Arsenal were like starting to get a grip in the game, I think they're going to find out. And the more they try to push forward and just not just hold their shape, that's going to happen more and more this season. Let's see if I can find a clip and show you what I mean about Ramsdale being out of position. Okay, this is what I want to show you. Look how close he is to that post there, right? And you're going to go, oh yeah, but he wants to be covering the post. Yeah, you're correct. But remember, the top of the 18-yard box is over there. So if the player's there, he wants to be in that. When this player cuts in, he needs to be taking another step into being about there. Because obviously the players come in, so the angle has changed. He can still come to this far post, but that back post is opening up more because he stayed on his spot. He stayed in the same place, and that ball goes into the top corner there. Well, it doesn't even go to the top corner. It goes into the side netting because he's not in the right position. He's too close to this post. When that player starts cutting in, he needs to start moving over more. He doesn't, and that's why I think he's failed here, and he could have done a better job. Don't take anything away from the strike. Quality strike. Let's get on to the next goal and see what we can see. Here we are, from a corner, a bit of a bundle. Ball's come back out, and let's have a look what happens. Dumpf, pressure on the ball. We don't mind that. There is too many to me. There's too many Arsenal players here and not enough Man City players. Look how many Man City players are on the back post here, not marking anybody. There's one player. One of these or two of these could have come over and helped be an extra body in here. Bump. They start jumping up and down. You can see, look, they're all perfectly in their zones, marking where they're supposed to be. However, I'd want one extra to be in there. Look, he's perfect. That's exactly where I'd want him as well. Someone else needs to be here, though, because there's 3 Arsenal players against 2 City players, and I'd want an extra player there. Bump, bump, bump. Comes across. Little bit of a cheeky run. Deflection. And it's in the net box. You really can't do much about deflected goals like that. You win some, you lose some. His body shape isn't quite right. Let's see if... Actually, let's just check his body shape. Let's see exactly where he is. It's not quite right. Okay. So this is one of these things. Do you see where he's facing in that way? And it looks like he's level, but he's not. If his shoulders are this way, the ball's not ricocheting and going into his own goal like that. It's ricocheting and coming forward. His body shape and the power of the shot has helped it bounce off him and go into the corner. All right, let's look at that again. Let's see if we can draw that a little bit better for you so you can understand it. Think of that as the wall. That's his line. That's where he's playing the ball off. If you hit a ball against that wall with some powerful spin, you can go that way, and that's what ends up happening. If the wall is facing that way down the field, it's not going to happen. He's facing too square to the ball and not square enough to the field. But honestly, you can't take it away from the defender. It happens sometimes. I'd be yelling at him for that, but that's me. But overall, there's not much you can do. Little ricochet into the corner. Again, the keeper should have stayed on his feet. He goes down too quickly, in my opinion. He falls to the floor way too fast. But we'll take it there. That's the season opener. And we'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.